Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host. And, we're here again. And, I got my Cubs shirt on again. It worked last Thursday. It's got to work tonight so they can go to Milwaukee one more time on Saturday, I think it is. So go Cubs. We'll have some fun with that tonight, I'm sure, as well. I do want to show his card. Joe Palmisano. This is his card from back in 1994, I believe it is, when he was racing the MRA style modifieds, and he was nice enough to have me up to Badger Kart Club in Dousman, Wisconsin last Sunday for their season championships. I ran into a lot of folks that I know from racing at Wilmot and other area racing as well, the Midwest Enduro Stock Car Series, sprint cars. The Majeski family was there. The Picala family was there. The McKellips family was there. And obviously the Palmizanos were there. It was just a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a great opportunity. That was their point championship events last Sunday. They have a few more events coming up the next couple of weeks. Check out the Badger Kart Club on their website. And the neat thing about it is if you go as a spectator, it's free. It's really, really cool. And then they're going to have a swap meet, I think, the first weekend in November. Again, all the information, check it out, Badger Kart Club. And again, thanks to Joe Palmisano for having me join him. I very much appreciate that. So we've got a busy show tonight. We've got a few different things that we're going to do, and we're going to get right into one of them. First of all, I want to thank B&L Office Furniture, Scott Carpenter, that provides me the studio here. A new partner, just got him yesterday, Dr. Tooth, Ken Johnson, who ran mini modifieds, or they used to call them at Lake Geneva Raceway and at Wilmot. He also ran the Big 8 Series. Eric Darnell actually drove his car at Lake Geneva Raceway, part of an event that we had there. Dr. Tooth gave up his seat, and Eric Darnell drove it. So had a lot of fun with Dr. Tooth over the years, and he is my dentist. And he has now come on board. His office is in Antioch, right off of Lake Street. If you need some help, and you want to talk racing with Doc while he's working on your mouth, reach out to Dr. Tooth, Ken Johnson. Also, as I mentioned, Scott Carpenter, B&L Office Furniture, Game Day Men's Health of Libertyville and Kenosha, Steve Sinclair and the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars, of course, the Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance. Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Cars are going to be part of the upcoming event at LaSalle Speedway, along with the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. That'll be on Saturday, October the 18th. And we're going to talk to Tom Eller in just a little bit about that. Great Lakes Dragaway is still up and running and moving, and still have a lot of great racing yet to go. And we're going to have our good friend John Reidenbach joining us very, very soon. And also Whitmore's Towing and Recovery. We're going to get to a few of our other marketing partners. One of them happens to be joining us on the phone lines, Bill Fusting from Lake County Hose and Equipment. Bill, a longtime friend of mine and Kathy's, and a longtime friend of racing, does some racing himself, and his family has been in racing. We had his daughter on earlier this year, Kimbra Starr Fusting, who still races. Joey, his son, also still races. And going to get Bill is going to join us. And if John Reidenbach happens to be in the green room, we can bring John on and everybody can hear everybody. Bill, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, looking forward to having you tonight. We've been trying to get you on, and when I spoke to you today, you were like going here and there and everywhere. So I guess that means things are going well at Lake County Hose and Equipment.
Yeah, we're staying busy. We're running all over, taking care of people.
Well, that's obviously an important part, and that helps subsidize your racing efforts, correct? I would think.
Subsidize a lot. It helps tremendously.
Well, I know John Reidenbach, when we have John on, he talks about you very highly, and that he gets to run into you from time to time at various racing events, particularly at Great Lakes Dragway, but some other events as well. What has your season been like in 2025, and do you still have some runs left in 2025 before the snow flies?
Well, I'm done racing for the year. My racing was very limited this year. Only was out twice because of the kids racing. They take off with the rig and leave me at home to work.
Well, somebody's got to work, right?
Yeah.
So, and we, like I said, we did have Kimbra on earlier this season on the program. Fill the folks in a little bit about what she's doing and what your son's doing as well, and if they still may have some racing yet to go in 2025.
Their racing was done last weekend at St. Louis. There was a double division race down there, so they're all done for the season. Wasn't a banner season, but we learned a lot. We had some issues with the cars and stuff, but we'll get them worked out. We'll be back out next year with them. Daughter Kimber runs Super Comp Dragster, which is a 890 index race.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, my son, races Super Gas, which is a 990 index race.
Okay. And everybody races in the family except your wife. What gives there?
Need another vehicle.
There you go. And now, you mentioned what the kids run. Fill the folks in a little bit about what you run when you are able to get to the track and do some racing.
Mine is a Nostalgia Altered, which is a 1948 Fiat Topolino. It's an injected small block Chevy, which hopefully starting next year I'll have a blower on it, and hopefully going faster. Hopefully it would be in the sevens next year.
Well, that sounds like some fun. And when will your season get going in 2026? When do you plan on getting it out for the first time?
It'll be Labor Day weekend, probably for me.
Labor Day?
Yeah. Well,
I was going to say.
Weekend, I mean.
I was going to say that's almost the end.
Yeah, got my weekends backwards.
That's all right. Well, Sean Stykes joining us, saying hello, and also says hello to you, Billy. Sean definitely tunes in to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report just about every week. And again, we appreciate that. What about, again, for folks that aren't familiar with your business, this is your opportunity to kind of explain a little bit what Lake County Hose and Equipment is and what you can do for folks and how they can reach out to you and take use of your services.
We're open to the public to where you can bring a hydraulic hose in or steel line off your skidster loader, brake hoses off your cars. We also do big hydraulic all the way up to 2-inch 6-wire, which is 6,000 PSI hose for the big back hose, earth moving equipment. We do stuff for factories, keep their machines up and running. Today I was out in Racine at American Erecting, giving them all kinds of parts for their 350-ton crane, 6-axle crane.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And then you mentioned here you were at Racine, and then earlier in the day you were down south in Illinois.
Melrose Park. I was down there, and I was out at Haddock Lake early this morning, about 7 o'clock. And then I just finished up maybe half an hour ago.
And now, who takes care of the shop there in Beach Park while you're away?
That's Joe, my son. He runs the shop part of it, and then we got 3 other guys that work under him. And wife is in the office.
Takes care of the bills.
Yeah.
The important part, right?
Create.
There you go. And I know, and I recall a few years ago that your son even tried some circle track racing with the lightning sprints.
He was out, I think, just a couple times. He borrowed a car. Might have been my nephew's car, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, well, that's a division, the 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery Lightning Sprints. I got to call several of their events, even down the road down at Sycamore. And that division, Bill, is amazing because of the young people in that division. You got a 13-year-old Colin Sivia.
We sponsor him too.
There you go. And he's a 4th-generation driver. The champion, Brian Strain Jr., just turned 16. I mean, you've got a number of other drivers in there. Jacob Irwin turned 16 during the season. Jordan Funderburk, I think, is in that age range somewhere. He's a high school student still. A lot of young folks. And then you have somebody like Ron Branham, who's in his 70s. And still out there giving it a try. Do you see that in drag racing? Is there a particular division where it's a lot of young drivers that are getting started and getting interested in doing drag racing, and there where it's kind of just turns out to be a division where a lot of them navigate to?
Well, they have a junior dragster division, and there's a couple different stepping stones to get to the faster cars of the junior dragsters.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can start out as young as 5 now, and I think the age limit is 16. You'd have to ask John that.
Mm-hmm.
But then from there you get into the street cars, and then you go up from there, depending on what you want to do and how involved you are. And there's a junior dragster racer that's all the way up to top fuel now.
Wow. You know? That's amazing. Well, that's just like Sunday when I was up there at the Badger Kart Club up there in Dousman. The kids' karts, which are the first group of racers that we had for the day, they were ages 5 through about 7. And, you know, and they were out there. Some of them were moving around pretty good in those karts. And, you know, it's just amazing. And then later on in the day, we did have somebody that was in their 60s out there, you know, racing a kart. And so you really have the gamut there as well. Do you see that transgression, or not necessarily transgression, a transformation from like kart racing to drag racing? Kart racing seems to be really prevalent in oval track. Whether it be dirt or asphalt, you see a lot of drivers that started out in karts, even NASCAR, even IndyCar. Do you see that in drag racing too, where they'll start in the karts and then, you know, gravitate over into drag racing?
There has been a couple. There's not as many as you see in circle track racing.
Mm-hmm.
But depends on how well they like it and how well they do and how far they want to travel.
Yeah, that's for sure. Kent, if you happen to hear me, I believe John is in the green room, and you can bring up
hey guys,
the devil. So John, I'm gonna, you know, we've got Bill on here. I know you guys are good friends. You competed against each other once in a while, and you know, questions that you may have for Bill. Besides, Bill's racing in the background up there at Great Lakes Dragway as we speak.
Yeah, a little noisy here. I'm even in the pavilion. I didn't think it was going to be that noisy, but some. It's Sticky Thursday, so we got some fast cars out here, the slicks, the drag radial cars. but I never raced Billy. He's faster than me. My car's a little bit slower than his. So, but I heard he's putting the blower on there, which you'll like that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
And John, up there at Great Lakes, I mean, one thing, and I almost made it. I actually heard him. I had to make a stop in Union Grove last Saturday night, but my schedule got fouled up. The snowmobile drags on the clay. Now, they ran last weekend. Were there any more world records that you heard of through the course of the weekend? And are they going to try to do another one before the snow flies?
I did hear. I can't confirm it, but somebody said that they set 2 records for ET and mile an hour. I think there was a nitro sled that went 169 miles an hour and 500 feet or 550 feet, what they run there. Last year was 164. I think one guy did 169. And then it was kind of neat. There was one sled that had compressed air supercharging on it, where it's got a big air tank, and they run that instead of running a supercharger or whatever. They have compressed air, and there was some quick stuff there for sure. A lot of 140, 150 mile an hour things, which is kind of neat.
Now, John, you and Bill are both kind of like me. We're older. Would you guys want to try one of those trick sleds out, or are you going to leave that to the young guys?
I'll leave that to the young guys. Maybe. I mean, it would be kind of fun. I think probably as long as they could hold on to it and stay on there. But those things leave pretty quick. I know they're doing 0 to 60 feet in less than 1 second. Like 0.9 seconds. So that's pretty good. I mean, I do notice they have a brace behind them to kind of hold them on so they don't slide off the back. But it was pretty neat. It was pretty good.
How about you, Bill? Would you want to give that a shot?
I'd love to try it.
We won't tell your wife. We won't tell your wife. We'll just tell her you were going to the grocery store or something.
She just ups the insurance every time I say so.
There you go. Well, John, what do you have left? I know Bill said that he and Kimbra and Joe are pretty much done for the season as far as their drag racing, but I know Great Lakes is not yet. And we were hearing testament to that in the background tonight as we speak.
Oh yeah. So tomorrow they're going to have an early bird Friday where you can get in at noon if you want to, do just test and tune, which I would recommend if anybody wants to come out and do it. The weather's supposed to be nice, and it's nice to, the problem now at this time of the year, it gets dark so early and then the track starts to get colder and it goes away. So tomorrow would be a good opportunity to come out if you're not working, to come out at noon and get some passes in. And then our group is Bruce City Gassers. We have one more race left. That's going to be Saturday, and we call it our Dragtober, basically. So our guys get together and we invite a few guys that we race with the nostalgia cars, and we do a bracket race. A little bit different type of bracket race. We do a bracket race where you dial in your index, but if you lift, you lose. So you got to run it wide open all the way to the end, and there's going to be somebody down in the end to see if anybody lifts. But we're going to do that, just a fun race, get together, and we're going to do kind of a chili cookout together with everybody for one last hurrah at the track. And then pretty much that's the only event we have left on the calendar in October. Otherwise, we're going to be open still 6 days a week. Usually close a little bit earlier at, maybe 9 o'clock or so, because it's just starting dark earlier and the track starts to go away. But then starting in November, if the weather holds out, it'll be on weekends. So we'll have weekend operations in November.
There you go. See, Bill, you can still sneak out there, if you can, tell Kim to, you just need to take it out there and just, shake it down one more time.
I was trying to get Kristen in here, but she's not here. I was looking around for her, but she won the ladies' night last night, and she won the Battle of the Sexes. But I don't know if they got enough time to catch up, because the men are at 10 and the women are at 7. But if the weather holds out and they can do a sweep, they might be able to get it. But it was pretty interesting watching them, because there's some really good competition between the women and the men that are there. They can cut some really good lights, and they got it dialed in pretty good.
Yep. So that means Wednesday night, still ladies' night. The ladies get to race for free and they get to spectate for free. So, still that opportunity out there for folks if they want to go out and catch in what's going on at Great Lakes Dragway, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
And Bill, I know you've had a long day, so and I appreciate you coming on. But obviously, Lake County Hose and Equipment is a main supporter of you and your business. Others that you want to thank that get you to the racetrack, or Kimbra or Joe?
McElvain race cars, TA race engines, ATD transmissions out of Germantown. That's probably about it.
All righty, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you Memorial Day weekend. I'll make sure that you get the right weekend. You probably heard that, John.
Yeah.
At first he's like, well, yeah, I'm going to have it out for the first time Labor Day weekend. It's like, okay, what are you going to do the rest of the summer?
Yeah.
Work on it.
There you go. Well, Bill, appreciate you coming on. Please, my best to Kim and to Kimbra and Joe and the family, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you for having me on.
Take care, Bill. Bye-bye. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you, Bill.
Fusting with Lake County Hose and Equipment, one of our supporters and marketing partners, and a longtime friend. Actually, he met his wife at an event that I was at a long time ago. And I'm going to go ahead and tell the story, and hopefully Kim's not listening. She knows the story. He came up to me and he says, should I go out with this lady or this lady? One of them was his wife. One was not his wife. I said, up to you. Both of them are nice ladies. I knew Kim a little bit more than the other lady. And he ended up going with Kim that evening, and as they say, the rest is history.
Wow, that's a neat story. Yeah.
So, John, Saturday sounds like a fun time. What time are you going to get things going on Saturday?
We're going to do gates open at 9. We're going to do our drivers meeting at around 10 o'clock, and then we're going to try to probably run our first round before 11, 10:30 or 11. We're probably going to have about 40 of us there. So we got to go through some rounds. So try to do some qualifying right away and let everybody do a couple qualifying rounds and figure out what they're going to dial in. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to have my car out here. I'm going to do a couple test and tune runs, but I'm not going to participate in the race because it's kind of too hard to try to race your car and run the race at the same time. So I found that out last year. I thought I'd be out the first round, but I ended up going like 4 rounds, and I'm like, yeah, this is too hard to do this. So I'll just I'll do a little test and tuning and just worry about running the race.
Oh goodness, maybe Bill's listening still. You might be able to get a substitute driver in there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So and it is great that Mother Nature has been pretty cooperative. I mean, yes, it's a little bit cooler now than it was a week ago, but a week ago it was an anomaly. It shouldn't be 90 degrees in October.
Right.
And now we're in the 60s, which is pretty normal. But as you said, Randy and the crew up there, they're going to try to keep things going as long as they can keep them going. And besides the Brew City Gassers on Saturday, are there going to be other types of cars there as well, or how's it going to go?
Yeah, it's going to be an open test and tune, and there's going to be a lot of guys that we've raced with before that said, hey, I don't want to really get in the bracket race, but I want to bring my car up and test and tune. So a few guys are showing up tomorrow for the early bird, and they're going to spend the night, and then we'll have some guys there, be an open test and tune day. If the weather's nice, there'll probably be a lot of cars out here.
And they are saying, actually, it's supposed to warm up again a little bit on Saturday. They're talking back in the 70s, on Saturday. And still, that 4-letter word is actually, I guess they dropped it in for tomorrow a little bit, and they don't know.
Yeah.
I think, John, you and I could do as well as some of the weather people do.
You're right. Yeah, I think so.
All you got to do is look out the window. Oh, I guess it's raining.
Watching a long-term forecast today, one of the weather meteorologists on YouTube, and he said that it looks like it might be above normal for the next couple of weeks here as far as temperature. So that would be kind of nice.
That'd be all right. I mean, we did a couple of years ago. We had snow on Halloween. I mean, I've got pictures to prove it. With the pumpkin completely covered with about 2 inches of snow. And it was snowing while the kids were trick-or-treating here in Antioch, and I give them all the credit in the world. I mean, it was freezing, and they were still walking out there with their costumes on and, and all that kind of stuff. So they got a few extra pieces of candy from me that night.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't have to worry about that this year. Hopefully it'll be nice. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Any possibility now? Halloween's a Friday this year. It's the 31st of October. That hasn't changed. But trick or treating here in Antioch is going to be on Friday. Anything special at Great Lakes Dragaway that weekend involving maybe Halloween or a trunk and treat type of thing or whatever?
Yeah, nothing that we had just talked about that. I don't know. It's not on the schedule to do anything, but they're talking about maybe doing something like that because the weather has been pretty decent usually. So nothing that's in the works that I know of, but I'll find out if they want to do something.
All right, that'll be great because we are going to continue with a weekly show until probably that Thursday just before Halloween, the 30th.
Sure.
And then, Kent and I are going to have some discussions, and we'll let you know our schedule during the quote off season.
Sure.
You still may see us periodically once a week or something, a little, catch up on what's happening in the world of motorsports, particularly in the local area.
Sure.
A lot of banquets are going to be starting and all that kind of thing. So, and schedules are going to start coming out. And I still give you and the Brew City Gassers and Great Lakes Dragaway all the credit in the world. You just completed your big event last summer in July or June. Was it June or July?
End of June. Yeah. Right in the end of June. Yeah.
And like the next week you handed me all kinds of cards that had next year's date on it already.
Yeah, we try to do that because we look at what's on the schedule, the other races. We can see where we fit in with the other nostalgia events and some of the things. We don't want to conflict with Back to the 50s, the big cars show up in Minnesota and that. So it works out pretty good. That week seems to work really good, and it's a week before 4th of July with their Night of Fire and everything. So it fits in the schedule pretty decent there.
All righty. So that's great. And again, if folks need information, how do they get in touch with Great Lakes Dragaway and with Randy, who answers his own phone?
Okay, you can go to brewcitygassers.com. You can go to brewcitygassers.com. That's ours. You can go to greatlakesdragaway.com or brewcitygassers.com if you want to look at our stuff. And then you can also go to Great Lakes Dragaway's Facebook page. That's usually updated more often. And then if you want to call Randy, you can give him a call at 262-878-3783.
He answers his own phone, and he'll be able to tell you if they've decided a trunk and treat type thing, sometime in October. So, all right. Well, John, we appreciate it. We're going to let you go tonight so that you can get out there and, watch what's going on. And we'll look forward. But right now we're planning next Thursday. We'll be back here again. Maybe you can get one of the ladies to join you for an update on the women, and we'll go from there. So thanks a lot, John. John Reidenbach joining us, and we're going to see now. Actually, I'm going to give you some of our marketing partners: Fox Lake Harbor, Force One Performance, of course, Hunt Club of Richmond. We were out there just a couple of weeks ago. Had a great time out there. The weather was gorgeous. We had about probably 25, 30 cars, including race cars, a little bit of everything. And we thank them for all the hospitality out there. Bumper to Bumper of the Midwest. Bodycraft, Mark and Tony Maglio reconfirmed their support and partnership with us just yesterday. Going forward, they've been with me for a lot of years. And the Black Knight is going to be making a special trip, and I'll get to that shortly. MLS Auto Clinic, Eddie and Debbie Boyd, very much involved with the honor flight. And again, we're going to have information on that shortly. And we just had them on. Bill Fusting, Lake County Hose and Equipment, Hartnell Chevrolet, Culver's of Paddock Lake, Jack's Helmets, Jack Eschbach, Kaylee Burns of Revel Bell Salon in Kansasville. Yes, Grandpa got his ears lowered, as my late mom used to always say. Kaylee did a great job with that. Midwest Motor Coach and Olson Transportation, great supporters of ours. A-Main Apparel and Diecast, Garrett Tennyson. Thomas Guard IT, John Hatterline, attorney at law. Cabins on the Lake up there in Friendship, Wisconsin. 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Daniel Sanchez, Carl and Corey Schultz. Impressions Count, who take care of our signs that you see. One right back here and one's up there at Great Lakes Dragaway. And then, as I mentioned, just coming on board, Dr. Tooth and Ken Johnson of Antioch. And also want to thank Bacchus Tree Service for helping me out in our yard. And Pink Roofing is working on a roof and a few other things. So again, thanks to all those folks. We may have to make a phone call here. We're going to see, because he was having some technical problems, and I'll see if he's corrected those technical problems. Our good friend Tom Eller was going to join us. And actually, Tom wants us to try to send him the link one more time. And Kent, if you can try to do that maybe from your end, we'll see if we can get that to Tom. If not, I will be calling him. We'll see what happens there. And as I mentioned, the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Cars are going to have a doubleheader next weekend right here in the Midwest. LaSalle Speedway, LaSalle, Illinois, a week from Saturday, the 18th of October, along with the Autometer powered by Gandrid Performance, Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Cars. It's a non-point show for those sprint cars, but a lot of them are still planning on going, so they'll be looking forward to that. And then on Sunday, the 19th, Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. It's a rescheduled rained out event from last summer, and that is going to be happening on Sunday, the 19th of October, along with the Badger Midgets. Both of those classes are going to be running up there, and that's going to be pretty much the last real big open wheel events in 2025. And of course, the 2026 schedules are already starting to be put together. And again, we are trying to get Tom Eller. He had a few technical problems, and if we're not able to get him a Zoom link, we will call him very, very shortly. Also, Nathan Crane has got a big event coming up. Again, that's the Midwest Racers. That'll be coming up on November the 8th. And that's at K1 Performance up there just outside of Waukesha. And if you want to know more information on that, I'm looking it up as we speak. And again, if you're interested, it's the 7th annual Midwest Racers event, and you can contact Nathan Crane on his Facebook page or instant message him on Facebook as well. If you haven't already paid, you can contact him directly, or you can pay separately by Venmo, Nathan-Crane-20, Apple Pay, cash if he sees you around, or check. And again, others are welcome. He only has a certain number of spots available for that event. And again, that's the 7th annual Midwest Racers event. If you're a spectator, then you don't have to worry about it because it's free to the spectators. And that's going to be on Saturday, November the 8th. Saturday, November the 8th, up there at K1 Kart. And then also on November the 1st, November the 1st is in Hartford, Wisconsin, is the annual induction for the Southeastern Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Fame. And that's going to be a lot of fun that evening as well. And we also want to see, and we are still working on trying to get Tom Eller. So Tom, you should have the link. So please check it and try it. If it doesn't work, let Kent know in the studio, and we'll just get you on the telephone, as they say. But we do want to recognize somebody who passed away, unfortunately, this last week, and it's somebody that I had a lot of involvement with from time to time. Just a true gentleman when it comes to racing, Bobby Allen. Bobby Allen passed away about a week ago, a little bit less maybe, last weekend. And Bobby Allen, a long time, one of the original World of Outlaw drivers, or actual outlaw drivers, used to come to Wilmot Raceway a lot for the annual Wilmot Opens. was very, very much involved in racing, and he passed away at age 81. And again, I mean, if there was anything to glean from Bobby Allen's life, as it says here on Flow Racing, is he made no shortage of memories amongst the sprint car community, drivers, car owners, business owners, industry personnel, fans, observers of the sport alike. They've all been, giving their thoughts and prayers when they heard of him passing. The Hanover, Pennsylvania legend who passed away suddenly last Sunday at age 81. And, our thoughts and prayers go out to him. Always had a smile, always was willing to take time for the fans. And I saw him still doing that at the Knoxville Raceway when we were down there back in May for their induction into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. He was there with his race team. Rico Abreu, a good friend of his, very much involved in racing. David Gravel, who's one of the top runners in the World of Outlaws currently. I mean, everybody just very, very much involved. And, of course, 5-time Knoxville Raceway champion Brian Brown also, his condolences, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Bobby Allen. His son, Jacob Allen, his grandson, Logan Schuchart, all raced and were all involved with shark racing, which Bobby started out. And if you look at old pictures of the land shark, it's got the claws coming out the front of the sprint car. So, again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Bobby Allen. He's going to be missed, and his legend will certainly continue to go on. And, if we find out anything further on arrangements or that for Scruffy, we'll pass that along to you. And apparently we're still having some problems with our buddy Tom. So we are going to give Tom a call, and hopefully he is not having phone problems. Tom was a busy guy last weekend, did some racing. Hello, Tom. And apparently some technical problems. We're not able to see your lovely face, but we're able to hear your voice, and which a lot of people love to hear when you belt out the national anthem. You do a great job with it. I've heard you a number of times in a number of different venues. We did a little bit of lobbying for you and even got you singing at a USAC event last year, I think it was. And, so you never know where Tom Eller may lead us all in the national anthem. And Tom, commend you for doing that. And this last weekend, you were busy racing. And you kind of were part of a contingent of Wisconsin Autometer wingless sprint cars. Hey, we've got Michael Lardy joining us from South Wilmington, Illinois. I've been in a lot of towns, but I don't know where South Wilmington is. I think I'm going to have to look at that up on GPS. And
it's just south of Wilmington.
And that's a good one. Thank you very much, Tom. I wouldn't have never figured that out. So now this last weekend, a lot of the Wisconsin wingless sprint guys were here and there and everywhere. Adam Taylor actually went to Terre Haute and ran with the big the big steel box down there of USAC, I think it was, and he went there with his little gun, his crate motor from the Wisconsin wingless, and made the show. And I think he ended up passing like 3 cars in the feature and finished like 21st on Friday night at Terre Haute. And then started
21st, finished 17th.
Oh, there you go. Better for me. Good reporter there. And then now Saturday night, fill folks in a little bit on where you guys went, and if you can think of where some of you all finished. I know you all finished, I think, in the top 7 on Saturday night.
Yeah. It depends on where you look, because my race pass says that I finished 7th, and then there was another lineup that said I finished 8th. But I mean, there ain't a light in this shop that I pay racing these cars to keep on, so it doesn't matter to me one spot versus the other. But
Yeah, we went down to run Spoon River American Sprint Car Tour this weekend, which is down in Lewistown, Illinois, which is like southwest of Peoria, a clip, probably 35 miles or so. And it was a lot of fun. It was definitely technical in all the right reasons. It was super high banked, really wide. But the banking seemed so steep that you could trip at the top and you wouldn't hit the ground until you got to the bottom of the racetrack.
Wow!
So it was pretty neat there. But yeah, I think Adam went quick time. Tim went second quick. I think Johnny Fall went third, fourth quick. Austin Archdale made an appearance. I used to race mini sprints with him back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Taters went fifth or sixth. I went 10th quick. So we were all pretty quick in qualifying. And then I think we all started between 3rd and 10th, and we finished 1st through 8th, except for 1 or 2 spots there. So we had a pretty good showing there.
Well, yeah, not too bad. And Taylor, from what I understand, Adam scored a clean sweep. I know he's looking forward to LaSalle. And I know you're looking forward to LaSalle. I definitely know Tyler Cuxhouse is looking forward to LaSalle because one of his 3 wins this year was at LaSalle. And it sounded exciting just on listen to it on Flow, listen to Lauren Kelly call it out there. It was an unbelievable race. And I'm looking forward to calling you guys out there on the 18th, a week from Saturday. Of course, Johnny Gibson will be calling the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Cars as they make their trek down to LaSalle. And then Sunday, they'll go up to Angel Park along with the Badger Midgets. And from what I understand, Adam is working on a ride for Sunday in a midget. So he may drive a little bit of everything next weekend. So for you guys, was it just all of a sudden you all showed up, or did you guys really talk about it and say, hey, let's all go to Spoon River and have some fun? And you all went to Spoon River and had some fun. Sounded like.
I race with those guys as often as I can. They're a great group of cars. The guys they're really excited when we show up. Very accepting, and they race with respect, which it's hard to find these days in some places, but and those guys you got guys that are just starting off, you got guys that are finishing their career, so they're out just having fun, and that it really takes the edge off when you know that even if you have a bad night, it'll be an okay night. You go down and have some fun, and then we got some sloppy Joe out of it at the end of the night too, so that wasn't so shabby, but. So a couple of the guys that asked me, like, hey, where you done racing for the year? No, I still got a handful of shows left. And then I had mentioned going on to Spoon River. And a couple other guys chimed in and they wanted to go with. And then there was one car that I kind of egged on to go down, but we all ended up going. And then, yeah, it was a pretty good time.
Well, it definitely sounded like it. It looked like it, from what I was able to gather up, and see from you guys. And eventually, they did show a YouTube video of the race. And that just got posted a couple of days ago. So if folks want to see that, I know it's on Adam Taylor's site on his Facebook page, and I'm sure
it was pretty much a video of him. So I would hope he would post it on his own site. But now, going into LaSalle, you've been to LaSalle now once, and that was the first time they had been back at LaSalle in several years. Been to LaSalle more than once.
Right.
I raced mini sprints there, and then sprint cars, a handful of years ago, and then just this year we went back.
Yeah, well, no, I was just thinking more of the sprint cars. But now that you're going back, it has been redone somewhat. But what about your thoughts now going there on the 18th? Did you learn some things when you were there earlier in the season that you're going to be able to tweak?
Yeah, because it did change actually quite a bit. Even though they made small changes, the racing itself changed quite a bit because, you used to go on coming out of turn 4 there. So the curb would kind of fall down because you're running over and stuff like that. It was a lot like Beaver Dam, where you roll out, you knock the cushion down there. And then, again, you'd roll off the track going into 3 where you'd knock it down a bunch. But they added a bunch of banking. They got rid of the entries. There's just 1 point on and 1 point off. And actually, the way that they did it, it's actually kind of neat because it points down the back straightaway instead of just being a hole in the wall, like 141 or Beaver Dam is. So the curb actually stays put even on corner exit to turn 2. So you can really carry a lot of speed down the back straightaway, which is neat. We were actually struggling getting a car run last time we were there. So, we just kind of kept the car really free so I could just keep my foot in it, because if I kept it long enough, it was okay. But now we got all of our issues figured out. So now we got a hot rod again, which is great. So being able to go down there and actually do something with it, I'm pretty excited to go back, because that place has always been fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now that you talked to some of the guys, I'm sure that you ran with last weekend, are any of them thinking about coming to LaSalle, since this is, I won't say it's an open non-wing show, but it's no points for the Wisconsin wingless, but I believe you're still using Wisconsin wingless rules.
It's just like when we went to Joliet and stuff last year. It was a non-points deal, but still, our wingless rules.
Yeah. Do you think any of the guys like Austin Archdale, are any of those guys thinking about coming to LaSalle that you've heard?
They don't have the motors that fit our rule package. We actually go down there as the underdog. With the carbureted 604 crate engine. We race steel block 410s. That's what we were up against. So that actually really goes to show you, the level of competition here versus outside. Because we go out there and we're in the car 6-8 times a month sometimes, where it's just a Sunday drive for us. And again, we get to racing pretty close because the motors are all pretty equal. So you have to be really good, to do that. So when you get down with mixed, what would you call it? Mixed experience and whatnot, and stuff like that. It really mixes things up, and you can really shine where your seat time sits. So, but unfortunately, a lot of them guys can't run with us because their motor package just doesn't meet our rule package.
Oh, okay. And I know Tim Cox. He was on a couple weeks ago with us. He went down there and he said it was a bucket list check for him because he had never run there. And so,
really good.
Yeah, and I'm not too shabby, finishing second and being in contention and the whole bit, he did, say that he's not going to be at LaSalle on the 18th because he's going to be up at the Dells at a Halloween, I think they're calling it, for super late models, and he's going to be running his asphalt late model on the 18th. I don't know if somebody will get in that car. BG Wood owns that car, and you never know, somebody might jump in the seat.
I might have heard the rumor. I might not. I don't know. Depends on what people want to hear.
So rumor has it there could be somebody in the seat, right?
That's the rumor. We get started here anyways, right?
Yeah, there you go. So, like I say, for you as a driver, because it's not points, and I realize you're not a points racing guy. Even during the regular season, you're not really a points racing guy. But now that you know that it's not for points, does that change your attitude or change what you'll give a try? And also, since it might be one of the last times you get in a car this year, depending upon weather and your schedule, the rest of the fall, do you throw all caution to the wind and just see what happens?
So we always try to do the best we can every time we get in the car, So the point thing, like you said, sure, we like to do well in points, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to do our best anyway. So it doesn't matter, points are on points. For some guys in particular, this is probably going to be their last race. So I'm sure they would lean more towards the checkers or wreckers because they don't got to worry about putting a race car together next week.
Mm-hmm.
This will not be my last race of the season unless weather, it screws that up for me. We have a handful of shows yet collectively that are on the slate for us. We're, I don't know, 3 parts left of the 410 being done, and then that car will be ready to go. We got a couple of shows that we're slated to try to run that car down in Southern Illinois and Indiana with that thing. And then, again, we still got our crate car here, so depending on if that thing doesn't get done, we'll just take the crate car because, like I said, we got our issues figured out, so the car's pretty quick again. So we'll take it, but we're still not conservative by any means, and we try to just give it all and go every time we're out there. But some guys sometimes might be like, oh, you know what? It's the last race of the year. Let's win it, or just roll it up and set it home.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, and I know, I've had some talks with the folks at Hartnell Chevrolet. They've been excited that they got on board with you this year, and are glad to see you doing well and getting out there and having some fun, and that's kind of what it's all about. We are going to be having a meeting with them soon about putting together a possible big car show at Hartnell Chevrolet in 2026. There is a car show coming up October 18th at the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. A gentleman by the name of Dustin is putting on, and again, that's it is open to race cars, and I already explained to Dustin, well, the wingless guys are going to be going south.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars that'll be heading the other way.
Yeah, but nice guy. I believe it's called, is it Finish Line? I think it is the name of his company there in Twin Lakes that is putting this show on the 18th. But I know in talking with the folks with Shabazz and the folks at Hartnell, they want to do something in 2026, a little bit bigger than what we did this last year, and hopefully it's a little bit cooler.
Well, they have a great layout there that could really be an awesome setup, an awesome venue for a really cool car show. It seems like every time they have it all geared up and ready to go, that something plays a role in it, and they don't get the turnout that, man, I wish they would, because it would be great for the dealer. Like I said, we were ecstatic they came on board this year, and we've tried to promote them the best that we could, and the best of our abilities. But and we go there for the car shows, and man, it's like they're always like they have stuff there at a car show you wouldn't normally see, but like you said, either it's super hot or something just didn't play out that didn't work out in their favor. But man, he's trying to get people in door over there, and they got great deals on top of that too. So I would highly recommend going there for folks, even if it's not for a car show.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So again, they're right on. I still refer to it as 83. Once you get north of the border, they call it 75. And actually, if you look up the address, it's Antioch Road. Stop by and see them. They're open, 6 days a week. They got a service department there as well. So just stop by and see them, and make sure you tell them you heard about them with Tom's race car, or you heard about them on our program here, the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. So, and I also want to thank your boss there at Whitmore Towing, because she's been a great supporter of ours the last couple of years, and we definitely want to appreciate that, and make sure you pass the thanks on to her.
I will.
And we do appreciate it. So, and if you didn't hear us earlier, I know you were having some technical problems. We're going to be on weekly up till October 30th, and then we'll let you know. We may go monthly, or we may just take some time off during the quote off season, and then start things back up probably in sometime in April of 2026. But
my
Nick,
last race is slated for November 1st, and depending on how a few things play out here, we're working on now. We are full steam ahead for going down to Speed Weeks this year, or next year, should I say? So our first race will be slated for the second week in February down in Florida. So.
All righty. Well, one thing, and I know when I invited you to go with me, you were moved and impressed when we went for Eddie and Debbie Boyd. It was actually Eddie's father that was remembered on the Lake County Honor Flight. Eddie's mom actually came as well for the welcome home up there at Mitchell Airport. Well, the honor flight, Lake County Honor Flight, goes out tomorrow morning about 11 o'clock. Between 10:30 and 11 will be the send-off at the Foss Park Golf Course on the western part of Argonne Drive there in North Chicago. There's some events, a little bit of ceremony that takes place in the clubhouse, wishing the veterans well. And then they will be boarding a Midwest motor coach, thanks to Rob Olson and his crew that have done this for years now, and going up to Mitchell Airport for a 3-day trip to Washington, D.C. And as a guardian, a former guardian on the flight, I can tell you that it's an amazing weekend. And these veterans, and there's veterans all the way from, there have been World War II within the last year. I don't know about this flight. There's a lot of Korean vets, quite a few Vietnam vets, sometimes Cold War, a little bit of everything.
Yes.
You know,
for those who haven't been part of that, I was just part of the motorcade for their trip home, and that was super cool. And the way that they treat those vets is just awesome. I mean, to go to Mitchell Airport, they shut down half of the upstairs just for them. That's half a whole ass airport they shut down for these guys that they made the commitment that some of us haven't, and to do that for the veterans like that is just awesome. And they bring them out one at a time. They say who they are, what they did, where they served, and all that. They had the color guard was there. I mean, it's a really cool deal. And like you said, a lot of the Vietnam vets, that is not the welcome they got the last time they got off an airplane for something like that, So to be able to do that for them, it was really cool. I couldn't be more thankful for even the opportunity to be part of that was just awesome. And I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and now tomorrow morning they'll be making the trip up, full police escort, probably around 11:30-ish. So if you can't get to Foss Park, just get somewhere along 41 or 94. You'll see a sight. And then when they come back on Sunday, it's scheduled around 7:30-ish. When they come down south on Sunday from Mitchell, to see 4 Wisconsin State Troopers block off the interstate at the Cloverleaf coming out of Mitchell is unbelievable. And they get led by 50 police cars, full lights. Yes, the Bodycraft Black Knight's going to be in there because we've got a special lady, Betty Brandis, who works the pit shack at Wilmot. Her late brother was the first casualty in Kenosha County in Vietnam.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yep, her brother is going to be remembered they call it the folds of our heroes that will be going on the flight. And Betty's going to ride with Kathy and I in the Black Knight, going on the escort up tomorrow, and then on the escort back home on Sunday. I get choked up now because it's like you say, Tom, it's the welcome that a lot of these vets never got, especially the Vietnam vets. So just get out there, take 5 minutes. If you want to make a little sign, fine. And Sunday, come to the monument on Sheridan Road in North Chicago about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and just hang out there until the Midwest Motor Coach bus arrives.
Chicago has their ladder truck out there with a flag draped across the whole road, and it's a huge deal even on their arrival over there at the Memorial Park. Yeah, it was definitely an experience. Yeah,
for sure. So, please get out and support the vets and thank them the way they should have been thanked, years ago. Because a lot of them didn't get that. And they never got that thanks. And I actually had a vet come up to me in August, and he said that exact thing. He goes, "Thank you for the welcome that we never got."
Yep. They were just following orders.
Yep. They were just.
Thought they were doing what they felt was right, you know.
Yep. That's for sure. So, well, on that note, I feel it's a positive note because it's a great thing to do this weekend. You know, the Great Lakes Dragway is going to be racing, but, you know, sneak out there from Great Lakes Dragway, shoot down KR, see the motorcade go by, and then shoot back over to, you know, Great Lakes Dragway, watch some racing tomorrow. And then, you know, on Sunday, definitely get out and see them come home. And no matter what the weather's like, they're still coming home Sunday. I can guarantee you.
Yep.
You know, they will be coming home.
Last time when I was with it, they had like 50 motorcycles. It was like 35 degrees and raining, and them guys couldn't have been happier to go along with us.
That's right. And like I say, you'll see the Black Knight in there. The Bodycraft Pace Truck for the IRA will be in the motorcade, and Betty will be with my wife Kathy and I, and we can't be prouder of being a part of it and looking forward to it. So, well, Tom, appreciate your time, appreciate your support of the Honor Flight. Hopefully, maybe you can get out tomorrow or Sunday or both, and you know, come and see it and be a part of it again. We'd love to have you, and we'll look forward to seeing you at LaSalle a week from Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Take care. God bless, buddy. We'll see you. Bye-bye. And that's going to wrap up this week's Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. Again, get out and support the Honor Flight. Tomorrow, Foss Park, between 10:30 and about 11:30, or anywhere along the motorcade, along Martin Luther King Drive in North Chicago, 41 up to the interstate, and then the interstate all the way up to Mitchell. And then Sunday, Mitchell all the way back to North Chicago. Again, that's kind of recommend you get there about 7 o'clock in the arrivals area of Mitchell. You know, you won't be able to miss the welcome home, and it'll definitely touch you and affect you. And we're privileged that Betty's going to be able to ride with us this weekend. So until we see you next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless. Let's go racing and let's go Cubs.